On September 27, 2020, Armenians in Karabakh awoke to air raid sirens and shelling. War with Azerbaijan raged for 44 days. Today, many went to the military cemeteries that have been built in cities and villages across the country since 2020 to pay their respects to fallen friends and family members from all corners of Armenia. But 2 years since the war, many are worried that another war may be imminent. A ceasefire statement was signed on November 9, 2020, after a devastating defeat for Armenia. Armenia's government agreed to hand over the 7 surrounding regions of the Soviet-era Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast to Azerbaijan, including the Kelbajar, Lachin, and Aghdam regions. Moreover, the territories captured by Azerbaijan within the former NKAO during the 2020 war, including the Armenian-majority Hadrut region and the key city of Shushi, would remain under Azerbaijani control. 2,000 Russian peacekeepers were deployed to the region for a term of 5 years, and Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to open all regional transit connections. Both societies paid a heavy cost. The Armenian side suffered over 4,000 casualties, many of them 18 to 20-year-old conscripts, with even more wounded and disabled. Political stability in Armenia crumbled, with thousands taking to the streets, calling for Pashinyan's resignation over his handling of both the war and the Karabakh issue more broadly. In June 2021, Armenia held parliamentary elections that saw the ruling Civil Contract Party retain a majority of seats. 2 other political forces entered parliament, the Armenia Alliance of former President Robert Kocharyan and the I Have Honor bloc of former President Serge Sargsyan. Politics got even more polarized, and the antagonism between Pashinyan and Kocharyan's forces led to brawls in the legislature. In the spring of 2022, the opposition organized near-daily protests after Pashinyan gave a controversial speech in parliament about lowering the bar on Karabakh. Protesters set up a sit-in camp on one of Yerevan's main intersections and paralyzed traffic in the city for over a month, before declaring a move to other tactics. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan continued its aggressive actions in the border areas of both Armenia and Karabakh. In mid-September 2022, after a whole range of various ceasefire violations over the past 2 years, Azerbaijan launched a major attack on Armenia proper, bombing numerous towns and cities including Jermuk, Vardenis, Goris, and Kapan. The fighting left over 200 Armenian servicemen killed in action, 4 civilians dead, about 20 soldiers taken prisoner, and over 7,000 displaced. A fragile ceasefire left Azerbaijan in control of another 10 square kilometers of Armenian sovereign territory, taking the total amount of Armenian territory under Azerbaijani occupation to about 50 square kilometers. Earlier this month, Karabakh President Araik Harutyunyan called on Armenians to unite as he warned of a new disastrous war on the country's doorstep. Geopolitical developments in the region have emboldened the Azerbaijani regime. Russia's invasion has shifted Moscow's attention away from Karabakh, and an energy crisis in Europe has made Brussels ever more dependent on Azerbaijani gas supplies. This, coupled with Azerbaijan's aggressive behavior, has led many observers to argue that Azerbaijan is trying to secure a peace treaty on its terms, using the threat of force to extract new concessions from Armenia. Meanwhile, in Armenia, an atmosphere of deep concern hangs over the country, as many once thought the 2020 war would be the last chapter of the decades-long conflict with Azerbaijan. Now Armenia is attempting to strengthen its military, whilst courting global powers in Moscow, Paris, Tehran, and Washington to pressure Azerbaijan to stop its aggressive actions. Despite these efforts, 2 years on from the war, Armenian POWs still remain in Azerbaijan. Armenian cultural heritage in Karabakh continues to be under threat. 50 square kilometers of Armenian territory remains occupied, and the issue of Karabakh remains completely unresolved. 3 years are left till the Russian peacekeepers' mandate expires. Nearly at the halfway point, the future remains just as uncertain as it did 2 years ago.